All right, this is the copyright disclaimer. The copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Can you hand me your can?
Why? Thank you.
No, just hand it here. Now hand it to Jen. Now Jen, hand the can back to her. And hand it to me one more time, and I'm gonna hand it to you. Now take a sip.
It tastes the same.
Wait, take a sip. Okay, wait, listen. Did the contents and the inside taste the same? Now what if I stick my finger in it? And have it, but wait, pause.
Yeah,
what if I stick my finger in it, have Angelito, our producer, stick his finger in it, have Jen stick her finger in it? Do you think it'll taste the same? Would you want to drink it?
No.
That is the difference between when a man cheats and when a woman cheats. See, you can wipe the can off, but if I stuck my finger in here and she stuck her finger in here, then you wouldn't want it.
So why can't we cheat too?
First of all, masculine women, if 20 women touch this cup, I could easily clean it off. But if 20 men dip their hand in it, the water is going to be nasty and I don't want it anymore. That's why women can't cheat.
Woman's past doesn't matter is the biggest lie you've ever been told. Every long period of chaos, casual sex, toxic men, and emotional roller coasters rewires attraction. Her brain learns instability equals excitement. Peace equals boredom. So when she enters a calm relationship, nothing feels right. Not because you're wrong, but because her system is calibrated for drama. She doesn't want a partner, she wants a fix. You can't build stability with someone addicted to chaos.
So my body count is 1,572.
$1,572 bodies? Again, 1,572 bodies? May God help us all. Literally.
My body count is 1,572. And so I don't think body count should matter, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I've heard a lot of numbers and it just doesn't really matter.
What about the men? Men with higher body counts are more likely to cheat. Men with higher body counts are more likely to get divorced. Men with higher body counts are less likely to be satisfied in their marriages. But this is where the difference comes in.
Women with a large body count, that sperm stays with them. Every man that ever nutted in them is a part of them. It's found in their DNA, it's found in their brain, it's found in their cells.
Studies show women can retain DNA from every man they've been with. This DNA isn't just stored, it can influence future children. That's why some kids may resemble a past ex rather than their father. It's not just looks either. Physical and mental traits can be affected. The more partners a woman has had, the higher the chance of passing down unexpected traits. Every man leaves a mark on her and potentially on her children. Think carefully about the consequences. Here's where the difference comes in. A man can have multiple partners, and a woman can too, but the effects are more significant for the woman. That's because the DNA from the men she's been with can be retained in her body and potentially passed on.
Women's body count matters biologically. I'm a neuroscientist. Let me explain. Studies show that women absorb and retain the DNA of every man they've been with via sperm. This foreign DNA has been found in the brain, organs, and reproductive system, but nobody talks about the consequences. And that DNA isn't just stored, it's used in creating future children. A woman's past men leave a permanent biological imprint. Ever wonder why some kids resemble an ex more than their father? This is usually why. While the father provides most of the DNA, genetic material from past men is also used. And it's not just looks. Physical and mental disorders can be passed down as well. The more men a woman has been with, the higher the risk of negative mutations in her future children. So ladies, your past doesn't disappear. Every man leaves a mark on your body and your future children. And fellas, think twice before having a child with a woman who's been with too many men, because you won't be the only one shaping that child.
Not good for women to have many sexual partners. It makes them literally crazy. The DNA can transfer into the brain. If you have 50 partners, you have 50 DNA swimming around. We're crazy enough without all that. But if you do have one partner and you're giving her your ojas, then you're also sort of training her to become a part of you. You're training her to be your second brain. And that's what you want for the mother of your child.
Because for a woman, sex changes your DNA.
Wow.
It changes it. It alters it. This is biologically proven. So you're being imprinted. So if you marry a woman that's been with 10 different men, that's a lot of imprinting. So now, to me, this is just my philosophy. And people don't have to agree with me. This is just where I show up. I would rather be imprinted by the man that I'm marrying and not engage in sort of like a psychological, biological, spiritual orgy.
Wow. Yeah.
Because now you know, a lot of times you wonder why relationships are not working, because they're comparing you with.
Why do you think women have such a hard time understanding that their body count, if it's high, is just going to be negatively viewed by a guy? Why can't they process and internalize that reality?
I think they do understand.
They do.
I think instinctively they know, like, that's why across the globe they all lie about it. I think they inherently know.
Why don't they change their behavior then?
Because there's been no consequence.
Because they're not happy, right?
No,
so
I
it's
know
like,
that.
okay, you're not happy. You know this is not making you more appealing to a guy. Why are you doing it then?
I mean, I think it's like engaging in consistent casual sex is like, it's like using drugs. Like it's fun, it's good in the moment, but then the repercussions come later. You know what I mean?
It's not fun for a lot of girls though.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, even in the moment, because women, like if you're not pairing emotion with that and you don't feel safe in that, it's not fun for us.
There's a lot of damaged girls out there though. You know, there's a lot of them engaging in a lot of these bad behaviors. But I can just tell you, like, guys are just absolutely, like, we are biologically repulsed by it. Some dudes will be like, oh, it's okay, doesn't matter.
Can you explain that? Because what happens is folks on the other side will say, oh, those are just insecure guys.
Right.
Those are guys who just can't handle that, you know, you've had your that you've had your pick of the litter. And my argument, but I'm saying it, I'm not a man, but my argument is like, no, it's just nasty, A, and B, they don't want to think about the fact that you don't have enough self-respect to be particular about who you share your body with. B, you may wind up bearing their child one day, and now he's going to look back and know that you were like open like 7-Eleven all night. Not cute. So I think and guys are visual. They don't want to visualize that you've been with all these men. There's a nastiness to it. So is there an insecurity component though, you think, that guys will feel like, oh, she's too hot on the market, she's going to stray? Is that part of it?
I think it's not. I mean, in our modern culture, like, anytime a man has a preference, they're just like, oh, he's just insecure. And it's like, no, I have a fucking backbone. Like, I have things that I want. And I see a lot of girls, like all the girls yesterday got triggered when I started talking about body count, you know?
Those numbers must have been sky
I
high.
mean, you know?
I'm not going to say they were,
you know?
but I'm not going to say they weren't. What would happen if we put those body counts on their forehead like Tate said? I would have loved to see that room. Imagine you could just have women sitting there. Hot minute, and I hit a button and the number just pops up in neon.
I'm telling you, that app is coming. That technology is coming.
Oh, let's do it. Maybe I can pitch that to PBD. That would be great.
But yeah, like the body count, the thing is, like, it just adds a lot of, how can I say, like, we just are very unsure of her choice making. You know what I mean? And like, just biologically speaking, I don't know, I'm just repulsed by it. And most men are. It's like men across the globe.
It just is.
It's not like just like a conspiracy, like
Right.
we're all meeting behind the scenes, like, okay, like, these girls are hoes.
How high is too high? Is there a number where you're like, oh, that is like, you would, if a guy came to you for coaching, it's like, my girlfriend is 25, has a body count of, is there a number where you'd be like, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's high?
Well, I mean, honestly, I think anything north of 10 is just
Me
like,
too.
it's just like, what have you been doing? Where?
I want to say, what percent of women are virgins on their wedding day? Can we answer the question?
Probably about 25%.
25%? Okay. It's 5%. What percent of women have been on birth control at some point in their life? 90%.
But what are the reasons why women are not on birth control?
Wait,
I've been on birth control before, but it wasn't because of sex.
Okay, fine. That, which is all good and well until we start looking at the body count statistics, where after a woman has had 5 partners, her chance of a happy marriage drops to 20%. Okay, so, and the average woman has slept with more than 5 men. Okay, which, remember, historically, 100 years ago, 85% of women were virgins on their wedding nights. Now, what else does men get out of marriage? They get loyalty, but not today because half of women leave. Then we start to go into weight, where women are overweight. The average woman is 5'3", 170 pounds. These are just numbers, and yet we scream misogyny at me, but these are just numbers.
Ladies, would you be embarrassed if you walked into a room with your body count on your forehead? You ask majority of women if body count matters, and most likely than less, they're gonna say no. But you ask a man the same question, and the answer is gonna be entirely the opposite. Does a woman really want to be known for being so easily accessible? According to family studies, the chances of divorce after 5 years of marriage actually jump from 5% to 35% after having 10 bodies. It's more likely a woman will have more trauma the guys she sleeps with before she gets married, and that comes with a lot of other consequences that we don't care to teach the younger generation when they listen to modernized music and social media.
Why does this matter? Somebody right now is going, yes, but why does this matter? If men can do it, then women can too. Well, sure, let's talk about that, shall we? The reason why it matters, fellas and ladies watching, is they've studied this phenomenon for a long time. There's a study called the Teachma study. You can overlay it on the Heritage study. You can go Google it for yourself. I'll have my editor put up the chart on the screen. And the problem with body count is the more men that women share their body with, the lower the likelihood it is that she's going to be able to form a healthy pair bond in a marriage and stick around.
I think a lot of the times what women don't want to talk about is it's like you have these get more bodies. Now one day you want to settle down and try to have a happy housewife life. And it's like after having all these bodies and having all this memory of these different men going in and out of you, you think you're not going to just be able to just sit down one day and submit to a man and stay loyal to a man after you've had all those different bodies and all those different spirits going in and out of you? And so it's like, not only is there, to me, there's the physical risk that you can have, whether it's pregnancy, whether it's STDs. Some of these dudes could be, who knows? I mean, some of the guys could be dangerous. Who knows? But even apart from that, now you're talking about this is more experience, more and more experience, more mileage you're adding to your body. And then if you think you have some of these men, and some of these men literally have for a living. So if you're, for lack of a better term, you're going and you're engaging in prostitutes, you're engaging with men who basically their profession, apart from whatever else they do on the side, is to pleasure women. You go and have those experiences. Now, any and every man that you interact with, you're going to be judging based upon that. You're going to be judging based upon that fantasy. And then now you're supposed to just sit down one day and then just have a happy-go-lucky and be satisfied in that relationship. Now compare him to that fling that you had in Jamaica. And so I think also women start setting themselves up because it's like there's more mileage. And then now you're creating an appetite for something that is largely unrealistic. And then now everything that you do, every man that you attempt to date, every man that you try to settle down with, if you're even trying to do that, you're now going to judge based upon that lens. Nobody's going to measure up. You can't have multiple men and act as if you're not going to have repercussions. Some theories suggest that anytime a woman has with a man, he literally leaves his genetic material in her body. If you think about it, just the anatomy of a woman, right? Anytime a man is entering into her woman, times that by 10, 20, 50. Let's say you're a woman walking around with the genetic material of 50 men in your body. That ain't going to mess up your pH balance. That ain't going to mess up your hormones. That ain't going to mess up your psychology. Like, we act like we can do these behaviors and there's no repercussions. And that's not real life. That's maybe what you see on televisions. That's maybe what we see in these different series. But the reality of how it impacts you, it's not just physical. It's not just emotional. It's spiritual. It impacts you on every single level. This is why I don't agree with that.
If she says she's only been with 4 or 5 guys, just triple that number. And remember, it's probably more than that, okay? But she swears she never cheated. Yeah, but in her mind, it just means that she didn't get railed behind your back. She conveniently blanks out all the emotional cheating that happened, the flirty text, the we're just friends with dudes that she was probably way too close with. And let's be real, the physical shit, it probably happened too, okay? But why? Why do girls do this? Straight fear, my darling. Straight fear. They know you guys judge body count hard. They know if they give the real number, it will kill the attraction dead. Make you question if she's actually loyal or wonder if she's wife material at all. So instead of honesty, they'll soften it, downplay the fuck out of it, and leave out huge chunks. And it's not always because they're just evil liars. No, a lot of the time it's just insecurity, shame, or maybe panic about getting rejected. But honestly, fuck that. Downplaying their past is still manipulation. They're still controlling the narrative so they look better in your eyes. That's exactly why so many dudes end up blindsided later. It's because they never got the full truth since day one. If her stories don't add up with how she acts, and if the details keep changing every time you ask, then you need to pay attention, because patterns never lie.
The joke will always be on men when it comes to the conversation about body count. They make such a big deal about it. It's such a requirement that your body count is low and you're not ran through and blah, blah, blah. But the reason why the joke is always going to be on y'all is because you are never going to know a woman's real answer. You're never going to know. And the funniest thing about that is men are so oblivious to women and the ways of women that they really think they can look at a woman and tell if her body count is high or if it's low. A lot of men will marry a woman thinking she's good, not understanding how much she used to, what they say, bust it wide open and lay it wide back in her day. But because she carries herself as a classy woman and has been for the last 10, 15, 20 years, you think she's a good girl. I can assure you that the women who you think are good girls aren't, and they never were. They may have changed or something, but they're not the innocent, pure woman or women that you think. And the women who you think are the most promiscuous because she wears booty shorts or she's always twerking or whatever, those be the women a lot of times that men cannot get ever. Like, I literally can use myself as an example. I will hop on a plane, go to Miami, put on some fishnet stockings, some booty shorts, and just be twerking all up and down the Miami Strip. And when men see me, they think, oh, she's probably easy. Look at how she's acting. 0 men get my phone number. 0 men even get my attention. Most of the time I tell them I'm gay, or I'm married, or I'm terrified of men. Whatever I feel like saying in that moment, depending on the guys, you'll never get me. Imagine thinking I'm a whore, but you can't even get this whore. This whore won't even give you eye contact, right? The joke is always gonna be on y'all, right? Women know how to twerk, dance, drink, be yelling, hey, at the club, and be doing all of that all day, and no man can get her. None. Like, literally none. Good luck. right? So y'all really don't know, and you'll never really know, right? Y'all will put so many emphasis on, oh, her body count has to be low, and it's like, you're never going to, I can't say this enough, you're never going to know unless she decides to tell you the truth, right? Steve Harvey said, no matter what, your number is never over 3. Anything over 3, no matter what age you are, no matter how many times you've been married, no matter how many baby daddies you got, 3. Okay, that's your answer, right? And I'm not saying I've ever said 3, but I'm just saying, even a man said to not tell men the true number, because men can't handle it. There are men out there who can't handle the fact that you had a past before that they even met you. They're mad that they didn't meet you 10 years ago because you had a baby daddy or you were married or something. Like, y'all can't take these men seriously. And so I think guys need to humble themselves, and y'all need to get over y'all insecurities and grow the fuck up. A woman is never going to tell you her actual number. And the women who actually do have a low number, like that's 1 or 2 or 3 men in her whole life or whatever, those are women you most likely, if you care about body count, you're not going to get women like that anyways. They're not going to be paying you any attention. Chances are they're probably still married to the same person from high school for the last 30 years anyways. So you're not going to get those women. You can forget it, right? The pure women that y'all want are children, basically. So good luck with that. Better luck next time, I guess.
Does her body count matter? Hell yes, it does. And I am not talking about slut shaming here. I am talking about science and real facts. Every person you sleep with leaves a psychological and biological blueprint on your brain. You cannot just tequila shot your way into amnesia and pretend that the slate is clean. It doesn't work that way. Every hookup rewires the emotional circuitry a little bit more. And that part is one that nobody likes to talk about. When the count gets high, she doesn't just get experienced. She becomes a detachment professional. Intimacy turns into muscle memory. Bonding starts buffering like Wi-Fi. You're not her first rodeo, buddy. You are the rerun. And let's be real. Here's the checklist to follow. She still compares you to her exes. She uses sex like a validation machine, and her trust issues on steroids. That is not necessarily emotional baggage. That is a whole cemetery she is carrying around on her backside. And the data backs it up, okay? The Institute for Family Studies found women with 10 or more partners have an 82% divorce rate. The Journal of Sex Research reports that 3 out of 4 admit that they chase the high, not the guy. The CDC data shows that pair bonding ability drops about 15% with each new partner. And according to the IFS, over 90% of virgin brides are still married after 10 years. Numbers don't lie, my friends. Biology doesn't bend. Oxytocin, dopamine, and pair bonding, they are all dull with repetition. Every time she gives herself away, the emotional glue weakens. So yeah, body count matters. Lock in the low count queen. She bonds like super glue. The high count, that is Teflon. Gone by sunrise. Tag one of your bros still saying, oh, it's just a number, okay? And drop a heart in the comments if you are guarding your bloodline, because your dynasty doesn't start with lust. It starts with one clean slate.
I'm asking why do men prefer women with lower body counts?
And the answer is because we're not equal. And again, this is going to always be the fallacy and the flaw with feminism, because you're going to be fighting for an equality that does not exist. I'm not saying better or worse. I'm saying we are different. Now, it depends on what you want intimacy for. If you want to be out there doing it with everybody, you absolutely have your right to do that. Please be loud and proud. We want to see you coming. The men love women like that to have fun with.
Why are men so concerned with women's body count, but men's body count are twice as much, but obviously don't matter?
Well, here's the thing. You have to understand that there's a great difference between males and females. Men and women are not the same. You are not equal. Men mark their territory. The higher your body count is, the less likely he can bond you and bind you to him as his property, right? Men are takers by nature. They take energy. That's what they do. So the more men that you're with the more value you lose because you got so many men taken from you, right? After they done took so much from you, what do you have to offer after that? Nothing. So, as a woman, why would you want a high body count? Why would you want so many men taken from you so that you can be depressed? You can have anxiety. You can have all of these demons inside of you.